It is as written in that message while sending invitation. We all know the phrase what we learn, we have been guided that think before you act. But this thinking will not be there when you are operating from a higher dimensional, fifth dimensional reality. There will be no thinking. There is no thought mind to guide you. It will be there, but under as a subordinate. So ego will not be able to inject any thought and forget about getting guidance through that. You will be guided by your soul consciousness. And that is your intuitive feeling. Before I go into explaining this, so let me see what, I was just making Google search of intuition meaning. I just have it here. I will share my screen and then we'll go from there. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Dada.
Okay, just 1 minute. Okay, so here is a dictionary and this is intuition. You can see now, right? This page written intuition, you can see, correct? Say yes, unmute and say yes, somebody.
Yes,
I cannot.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, let me see what are that. In the intuition, it is written noun, the ability to understand something instinctively without need for conscious reasoning. Okay, I repeat, the ability to understand something instinctively without need for conscious reasoning. That's what that's what they are defining as intuition. And there is another one, a thing that one knows or considers likely from instinctive feeling rather than conscious reasoning. So both are similar. Okay. So this part is common. There is no conscious reasoning is there involved. So I stop sharing, I'll go back to that. So you can see me now. I stopped sharing.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So we just explained, shown what is intuition meaning in the dictionary. Something instinctively known or some feeling that goes without any conscious reasoning. It cannot be reasoned and arrived at. It will come like this. Okay, what are the characteristics? I will explain later. But this is the typical characteristics of intuition, intuitive feelings. To understand that and so we need to get into this fundamental understanding how that our system works. Thinking is basically our mind construct that has been generated by mind, and it is mostly driven by the external factors. What we think, external factors or our own memory. So this is how the thought process. Sometimes we pick up thoughts. We don't know, but we are actually pick up that thoughts from the surroundings, and that's why sometimes many people get the same thought at the same time. Or we say it is a collective thought. And there is another one which is arising out of my own memory, and I'm started thinking, and those are coming. These are injected by our own ego. Ego controls us through our mind. So whatever decision you take out of your thinking mind, mostly it is governed by your ego. You want it to basically, ego needs to be satisfied. So think before you act is basically be the slave of your ego. That's what it means. Okay. Ego will not inject something which is in the purity. It will take always, it will try to put its own agenda. Okay. So that's why it is think before you act is basically you continue. That's what, many people, they run their life, and it is understandable. That's why they fall into the trouble, that obstacle comes, and many other things, unpleasant thing comes. All this is because we keep listening to our ego and try to follow that. And we are learned, we are taught that think before you act. Even more dangerous thing, we are taught that I think, therefore I am. No. You think, therefore you messed it up. Okay. I am consciousness is much higher level. It is not, it doesn't use your thinking. In fact, it doesn't need your thinking. It's the other way around. We need to learn how to stop this chattering so that we can listen to our inner voice, our soul consciousness. And soul consciousness is our inner guru. Our soul knows everything. You need not to go to anybody else to learn anything, any information, the knowledge. Either your soul knows everything, or there is something called Brahmagyan, which is if something new comes up into that, soul can connect directly to universal consciousness and get it for you. In either way, you need not to go to anybody else to learn anything. Yeah, in the external world, what you are getting is experiences, not knowledge. Suppose there is there is some soul's plan. You wanted to experience how it is feel like to swimming in a sea water. You will get the experience. But the knowledge of that soul already knows. But it is not experience, so it want to experience. Okay, you wanted to experience a bungee jumping. Okay, so you can go and experience. But what happens in bungee jumping, it knows, soul already knows, but it didn't have the direct experience. That's what he is going to, get all those kind of experiences. Anyway, so you remember originally when the definition of spirituality is to get connected with our own soul consciousness, our own soul. And then second line is equally important, and get guidance and live a life under guidance of our soul moment by moment. Because our soul, the communication with our soul is always happens on the moment, present moment, now moment. We already discussed about now moment and its characteristic in the earlier session. So in now moment, soul cannot tell you a story. 5-page long story and half-an-hour movie. So soul's communication is always instantaneous and cryptic. Just few words, you understand the whole thing. So as the higher dimensional masters. When Babaji communicates, Babaji gives few cryptic words and understanding is downloaded instantly. You might have seen that I post Babaji's messages on the Facebook earlier. Now recent days I am not doing that much, but earlier quite a few, I think 7-8 messages I posted. or maybe 10 messages I posted, communication with Babaji. I have, for your understanding, I have given a question answer form. But when it came like this. But whole understanding get downloaded. All procedure, method statement, and everything gets instantly downloaded. Okay, so so that's how the soul communicates with us. And the method of communication is intuitive feelings. It is not words. There is no verbal content. It is a feeling. Intuitive feeling. I'm not saying all feelings are intuitive. Don't get me wrong. Okay. I feel good. Is it my soul? May not be. Okay. But with this, but when soul communicates, always it is through feeling, and it is through your heart, not through your mind. When we quieten the mind, we go into the heart stage. In other words, heart is above in the hierarchy, which can communicate with much wider spectrum, and then our mind, because our mind cannot go into our inner world and get that information for us. Our heart can. Heart is much, much powerful. We even we don't know. There was some research going on, and they already established this. There is something called Heart Math Institute and all these things. They're developing, slowly coming there. But spiritual masters know that long back. Only thing, to reach to that area, your PVF should be 500 plus, so that your heart chakra opens, and that opens the channel, and then communication with your heart, through your heart, and goes to the soul consciousness happens. That channel opens up. Most of the people, they never have this kind of communication technique because their heart chakra never opened. They never crossed that 500. Most of the people, they live their life out of lower 3 chakras. The root chakra and Swadhisthana and Manipura. Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura. That's all. Life ends. So when you start doing these spiritual practices, then your heart chakra, when heart open, not only opens, it should be active. Then you start doing that. Then you can have your use your heart for the communication, and heart always that feels. And most of the masters after enlightenment, of course, that heart chakra opens, they operate from heart, and that's why they're compassionate. They're full of love because they operate from heart. After, what happens is during enlightenment, all 7 chakras get open. The energy start flowing. There are a lot of other chakras above our body and below our body as well. So energy start flowing up and down. And then the master then can have an ability to stabilize that energy at a certain point. Some masters stabilize it at the 3rd eye. I mean, after post-enlightenment to operate, 3rd eye, whether they operate from the wisdom or heart chakra. Most of them are, they stabilize that energy at heart chakra. They operate from there. I'm stabilizing means operating level. If you see the 7 chakras as 7-story building you have, then one of the floor you have to have your bedroom, no? You need to, or living room. You need to live there most of the time. Same here. It is not that they cannot go anywhere. And when the higher chakras open and higher dimensional things comes up, it does not mean you will lose lower one. Some people say, if I go to the intuitive level, what will have it thinking? I need it. I have a job to work. I have to do the project planning. I have to submit the budget. How I can do that? You can do that because, see, going higher level does not mean going to 4th floor doesn't mean you lose the 1st floor. It will be always available by choice. You can come up and down at your choice. If you have only 1 floor, you don't have a choice to be in the 4th floor. But if you have a 7-story building, you can choose anywhere you like to stay. That's what I'm saying. You can stabilize your energy where you like to operate. And most of the masters, they stabilize at their heart chakra. Because heart chakra, they operate, whatever action they take, there is out of compassion. Compassion means love in action. This love is a pure love, not any other love we know. The pure love from what the human being are made of. Pure love energy. That's why the human beings are called prema sarupa, manifestation of love. Ultimately, in the higher spiritual dimension, there are only two energies, love and light. Pure love and pure light, light of awareness. In Hinduism, that has been referred to as Shiva and Shakti. Okay, so all human beings are created out of pure love. That energy originally. It's none of the physics energy we know. I'm not talking about that. And the light also, it is not about light, that bulb light. It is the light of awareness. Okay. So love and awareness, these are the two key of that, operating in the higher dimensions. Anyway, so now let me come to this. Already we have, there are many research done about the power of heart. It is found out it will be minimum 1,000 times more powerful than our brain. But we never learned how to use it. That's why we always depend upon the mind, and then mind is controlled by ego, and then ego controls us. So why it is important to, what I have written that feel intuitively before you act means use your heart before you act, not brain. Why? Because your future is best known by your soul consciousness. Nobody else knows. Your soul knows. You remember? Our soul knows everything, including all your past and future. Present for sure. Past lives, what happened, how you have grown, to whom you met, who were your gurus, what you learned, what is your skill set. In this life, it is all about awakening your inner guru, whatever spiritual practices are. When inner guru is awakened, you need to give under guidance of your inner guru. And inner guru communicates through your heart as intuitive feeling, the inner knowing. The inner knowing, if you don't follow your inner knowing, you start searching here and there outside, and you will feel a lot of struggle, obstacles and all. Because mind has no capacity to know about what will happen in the future and all this kind of stuff. What is your soul's plan? Okay, nothing. So that's why you keep, it is like going without light, you are walking on the street. The pitch dark, you are walking. So definitely you will stumble into you will go to the wrong side and get banged with a lamppost and come back. Then there is a pothole, you fall down and get up. Go straight, there is something you bang with somebody else you didn't see. Then you press your feet on a dog and dog will start barking and all these kind of things. And exactly that is why we lead our lives. Where is that light of awareness? Where is that light of extraordinary thing happens? Things will be, external world will be there as they are. I'm not saying external world will change. Your experience will change. Because now you have a flashlight of your awareness. You can see everything on the way forward and which way to go, including the road, the direction maps and everything. So that is important. Get the light of awareness. Your life will be smooth. Nothing else outside will be any change, but you will change. Because you will not unnecessarily do trial and error and bang somewhere and fall down somewhere and get up. If there is a pothole, you simply bypass because you can see everything. Okay, so this is what we have to do, and that is what we are learning now. So now you have to focus on your own intuitive feelings rather than your mind, because mind is contaminated. In fact, you have to stop the chattering mind to come into the intuitive feeling. But when any feeling comes also, so because as most of us, we don't understand our ability to connect our heart. So what happens is we get the intuitive feeling, heart send a package to our brain, then it becomes a thought. So it like intention, first it comes as the intention, and then mind processes it to make a very thought after thought logical, make it logical and things like that. When originally came, there was no logic. Sometimes we do something and then find out logic later. We fit into our logic rather. Okay. So suddenly there is one morning you feel like I will watch sunrise. So you go there up and see the sunrise. It's just feeling, something came. I'm not saying any job you have to do extraordinary things or dramatic things, some simple things. But the urge to see the sunrise was originally came, that time there was no logic. But later on you found it out, see, long time I haven't seen the sunlight, I thought better I should go and exercise in front of the sun. It's a good to have something. And you later on fit all this logic into it to justify what you just did. Okay. So these are the things, you may be doing many things which came originally as an intuitive feeling. And in the morning, I was giving some examples, the dramatic examples of sometimes we do something, some brave act, which we have no plan. We don't know why we did it. Okay. In the morning, I was giving an example. Suppose there is a small child in a pram, the child's mother is taking him into that in the road, and suddenly mother has fallen and the pram has gone in front of a bus is coming. Suddenly you see that something happens instantly in you. You jump there and take the child out, okay, and we come to the safety, and the bus crashes the pram. This jumping, what you did, who guided you? You have no plan to thought, how much I have to run, do I have a capacity to jump up to this much? Everything. Suddenly something will happen. You yourself surprised how I did that. Those are your intuitive calling. It comes in an instant and you act in an instant. You bypass the mind, bypass the logic. Okay, this is just I have given you one, and there are many such things I'm sure you might have experienced in your life. Something came and you act, but that time there was no logic. Logic you fit later on. When you actually jumped, you never thought how many people are there, which somebody will clap or not. Should I get an award for this, doing this bravery thing? Nothing. You just acted because you feel like. Okay. So anyway, so this is the type of thing, it is coming from our heart. Guruji Prem Nirmalji says our life's journey is all about just 1 foot from head to heart. That's it. If you can travel this much, your purpose of life is done. You know what is meant by from your ego mind to this intuitive feeling. The heart is trying to communicate with you. Listen to that. Or not listen, sorry, feel that. It can be only felt. There are a lot of researchers, they have done this, and it is, I was telling, as I mentioning earlier, they already proven my heart is much powerful. We don't know, but heart has an intelligence, higher level intelligence, and it has got all the knowledge of this whole consciousness. So it will guide you better. There are many scientists and all, they think it is a subconscious mind phenomena. because we act because of some subconscious thing has come up. Here is the difference between the scientists and the spiritual masters. Okay. Spiritual masters know from where it comes. It is not subconscious mind. It has came from the superconscious mind, which is, you can say, the mind of our soul, which is the background of everything. Okay, not subconscious. Because many people, there will be research on this saying intuition is a subconscious phenomenon. No. They also say it is a quantum phenomena. That is correct. It is a quantum phenomena, but not based on subconscious. I'm just sharing. Okay. Maybe we will find some research and do Google, you will find some research is saying the subconscious thing. It's not a subconscious thing. It is a superconscious one.
Rajdeep,
Okay.
sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
If you look in the, I looked while you were searching the Google, I looked into the root word of intuition. Mm-hmm. It's a Latin word for inturo, and it clearly says, if you do the search for the root word of intuition, it's a spiritual feelings. It clearly says.
Yeah. Okay, there is no conscious reasoning for that. All right. So now let me give you some pointers. Obvious question is how I can differentiate between a thought and a feeling. People ask me, मोटा बताओ क्या है? ठीक है. Anyway, I'll give you some pointer, but you pick up whatever is what appeals you most. Okay. First thing is, I have noted down here. First is it is a heart phenomena. It is not a brain phenomena. That I have already given. Okay. It has nothing to do with the brain. It may come later, landed up in brain because then we started, thinking about it. So it will come ultimately land up in brain. But it is a heart phenomenon. It's originating from heart. So if you focus your heart, then only we'll be able to get it. How to do it, etc. I'll come later. But first you understand the characteristics. It is not verbal. There is no storyline. If there is any storyline, it is a thought. No imagery. No imagery, no dialogue. It is just a feeling. If there is any content, it is surely a thought. Okay. Next is, it is emotionally neutral. It does not trigger any emotion. Thought triggers emotion. That is a characteristic of the thought. Because mostly either we get input from outside or from our memory, it triggers emotion immediately. We feel sad, we feel angry, well, we feel happy, we feel proud, we feel jealous, all these kind of emotional things. Feeling does not trigger that. Thoughts do. Okay, but of course, when some initial feeling came, then you will be thinking about it, and second and third grade of thought can generate emotion. That is fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the first instant when you get it. It does not come through the path of emotion. You just feel it. That's like I was giving example of you jumping in front of a bus and saving a child. There is no emotion involved here. You didn't jump because you wanted to show your bravery and to anybody else. No, nothing. All bypassed. Just jumped. Same thing may happen if you know swimming and somebody is drowning and you just simply jump and save that person or a child. Okay, it happens automatically. So intuitive feeling is the trigger for this. And as I said, it is instant. So it doesn't take much time to plan, think, pros and cons, analysis, nothing. Then it is not logical. There is no mental explanation. When it comes, it doesn't come with a logic. I have given example of going, you like to see the sunrise today. You get up early and see the sunrise. Why you did that? There is no logical explanation. Sunrising every day. Why? Reason. Okay, because of that, maybe because of that, maybe weather was good outside. Maybe today there was no cloud, that's why I wanted to see. These logics you fit later on. But when it came, just wanted to see the sunlight. Finish. Okay, so there is no logical explanation, but later on you fit, you feel uncomfortable. People feel uncomfortable when they can logically cannot explain something, so they try to fit into these logics. Okay, but if you talk to some masters, most of the time they will tell, I felt that way. I feel this will be better for you. They will not say, I think it is better. Sometimes they use just to make other party understand, but most of the time they said, I don't feel it will be good for you. Because it is a feeling that they get. It is not they think and analyze. If you ask why, they will not be able to tell you because there is no logic, no content. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't come in the logical package or chronological order. Up to this, up to that, up to that. If this happens, only then this triggers. No, it can come out of the blue. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And it is coming from the inner knowing. But this I already explained earlier. It is coming from inner knowing, not from your memory. You can do something which has never you have experienced there, and there is no memory of it. But in your subconscious, there should be some memory. It gives you it comes out. It even comes out during the dream and all those things. But this, not necessarily you need to have it. If it is in your soul's plan, it will pop up. The urge to learn spirituality will pop up like an intuitive guidance. Later on, if maybe I met with that person and that, and I'm convinced the logic of what he said, that I should be following the spirituality. These are all crap. Okay, you fit later on. When first time he came, something inside you attracted the truth. Truth has a power to convince you instantly. It is the power of the truth that attracted you. No matter who is saying, how he is saying, if that person is good looking or nice talking, nothing. The truth itself will attract you. At the same time, if you're too much egoistic, same truth you can ignore. This phenomena, and sometimes they fight tooth and nail to prove they're right. Those truth feeling are wrong, okay? Because they feel uncomfortable. There are many, and I tell that everybody has a right not to know, not to follow the truth. They have a right. Whole illusion, whole Maya is created because of that. You can spend lifetime after lifetime under influence of Maya, okay, without realizing it is Maya. You will consider it is the truth. Anyway, but when to break out of this Maya, when to move forward, when to take an exit from this infinite circle, will come from you as an intuitive feeling. When you are ready. You are ready, you are looking for meaning of your life, etc. Somebody will appear in your life and teach you whatever you need to. But initially, it should come from within. Okay. It is not about the external factors that make you happen. And that's why there are many who doesn't even the opportunity is given, they don't pick it up. Okay, it's fine. There is no such hard and fast thing. Everybody has a free will. So that is what our, intuitive feeling, and these are characteristics I have mentioned. So I will stop here. If you have any question, you can ask me. Then I will go to the practical level. How we know that we got intuitive feeling. I'll give you some technique, some tips. Yes, Vani. Please unmute.
I wanted to know, people say about sixth sense. Is this same as subconscious mind or?
The sixth sense is all above, actually, which is out of five senses, the six senses. But intuitive feeling is one of them. It is correct. But intuitive feeling is not sixth sense. Don't confuse. Okay.
Okay.
People,
Thank
whatever normally people refer all above means beyond normal senses, five senses. That is called sixth sense. So you can consider this intuitive feeling as one of the six senses, and all of us we have. That is true. Okay. Means it can be a message from a master. It can be a something clicked. The X factor, which is normally not known, and definitely it's not logical. So it fits into the definition of intuition. But intuition is one of them. There are many. Okay. So way we can communicate with the higher dimension and get the message, and there are many, not only the intuitive feeling. But intuitive feeling is one of them for sure.
Rugby, I have a question.
Yes, Sonika, go ahead.
Something which we do spontaneously, is that intuition?
Yeah, it is. It is intuition, but it may or may not be. Sometimes we give something called knee-jerk reaction, like immediately we respond, react to something. So what I'm basically saying, not everything is intuition. Something can be just like a physical reaction.
So we don't have to analyze what is intuition and what is reaction.
No. If the moment you start analyzing, you go into the territory of the mind game or thoughts.
Okay.
There's no longer intuition left there. But if you feel something, that is their intuition.
Fine. Thank you.
All right. God bless. Okay. Any other question? If not, then I'll go to the next part. Yes, Rishi.
So if there is something that comes as an intuition, and if, for example, we don't act on it, so it's like it was a part of the soul's plan, but we did not act on it. So that might happen, that might come as an intuition later on, because
Yes.
it is not fulfilled.
Yes. Yeah, you have a choice to act, not to act. There is a free will there.
Yeah.
The message you will get. I'm not talking about the action part of it. I'm saying getting the message part of it. You will get the message. Whether to act on this or not, it's up to you.
And if we don't act, so then the soul's plan, whatever small, little, whatever is there, it is unfinished. So if we have to complete it, right? Like.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You will get more opportunities to do that.
Okay.
Okay. So it is not necessarily that you have to do, but soul will give you a signal. See, it is like your traffic signal gets green. Whether you actually pass through the signal or not, it's up to you. You didn't cross the signal, you parked the vehicle, it's okay. Okay, the message it will be conveyed. You will get the message that yes, now it is a green signal. That is intuition. But whether to drive or not to drive, it's your choice.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Guruji,
Okay.
one thing.
Yes, Hariom.
Like to give an example that you save a child when the bus is coming.
Mm.
Just push the pram. Now, is this part of the soul's plan? That the such and such time this will happen and you will save that particular child or something? Or is it
No,
continuous GPS kind of a thing?
GPS will come later. Okay, but this is not a soul's plan. I'm saying how under the given circumstances our soul is always guiding us.
Okay.
Only we are not listening to that. Not listening, we are feeling that messages. Okay, but this may be doing all the time. Our soul, even though in awake state, soul is in the witness mode, no?
Hanji.
It doesn't directly interfere into your business, but it always gives signal. As I just now told to Sreyashi that soul may give green signal, but to go or not to go, it's up to you.
Correct.
Signal will come. Soul will give you this kind of signal. You may ignore, you may not get it, you may not pick it up, you know.
I was thinking
Or
it's
you-
part of some karmic account that you were supposed to save that child on that particular day or something of that. Something.
No, it's possible, but this is not the topic here. Okay, I'm saying that there may be somewhere it is possible.
Okay.
Okay, so there may be some karmic connection with the child, etc., etc. But what I'm saying is that is not the primary reason here. Primary reason, what I'm saying is that it is your intuitive call. Why that intuitive call came doesn't matter. It's not a logical. It can be soul's plan. It can be just a test for you. Okay, whether you receive the message or not. Okay, there may be many things. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay then. All right. So we'll go to the next part. So which is actually we have to. That is how we know that we are getting the intuitive messages practically. See, when the intuitive message comes, it is a very fine skill. Okay, I'm explaining, but it needs practice. See, what happens is when the message arrives, just because I told it comes as a moment, no? It is not a 10-minute long phenomenon. Okay, just instant. When it comes, our heartbeat change a little bit. It just change a little fluttering. When we receive the message. Okay. If you are aware of your heartbeat, what we practice, Hridaya Upasana, in the 6th step we practice, right? In Hridaya Upasana, when we do the concentrate on our heart, if you're aware, the masters, they're aware of their heartbeat, breath and heartbeat all the time. Okay, because these two things are running all the time. And that is the best way to keep your awareness. It's a multi-point awareness, both breath and heartbeat.